Hi there, welcome back to the Weekend Postcast. It's Bruce Millington, Maddie Plale, Paul Keeley and Paddy Powers, Niall O'Reilly. We've got some really good stuff to get stuck into for Sunday. Leopardstown have got the classic trials. There's the Guineas at Longchamp, and Kills has got loads of other horses for us. They're racing at Killarney, Ludlow, Plumpton and Southwell. So let's kick off with Leopardstown first, the 235, the Amethyst Stakes. Niall O'Reilly, who wins this?
To be honest, I don't really have a strong opinion on this race. I couldn't figure it out at all. Will I move on to the 310 for myself, or will I let someone else go with this?
We'll see if Kills can crack the Amethyst. Kills, what colour is an amethyst? Do you know?
Absolutely no idea.
No?
It's
got to be blue, hasn't it?
Nope, it's purple.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who wins it, Kills?
Well, I think Tribal Beat or True Valour are the ones to beat. The old boys, Gordon Lord Byron and Brendan Bracken, both want soft ground. I quite like Tribal Beat if he's at his best first time up. He only managed one run last year, but even though he finished 5th or 6th, it wasn't that bad against Custom Cut. He wasn't beaten far. Hopefully he'll have a full season this year.
Okay, Maddie?
Yeah, tough race. I'm with Niall, really. Nothing strong jumping out at me, but True Valour, he's got to overcome a bit of an absence, but he was second to Soudois over this course and distance last season, 8th in the Jersey as well. So if he's fully wound up, back from a break, he should be the one to side with. Okay,
let's see if we can get some more classic clues for the other two races at Leopardstown. We're going to look at the 310s, the Derrinstown Stud even, 1,000 guineas trial. And Niall, do you fancy anything here?
Yeah, I actually really like one here. Algebra, it's trained by Kevin Prendergast. Now, it's probably foolish to oppose Aidan O'Brien in these races, but I've been following this horse since last season. She ran a massive race on debut behind a horse called Contingent, with both miles clear for good field. She reappeared at Dundalk, where she was very workmanlike when winning a maiden, but she's a half-sister to Autad, who came into his own as a 3-year-old, which bodes well. I think she'll give Magical something to think about. I'd say she'd be a big price, probably 16-1.
Wow. So. Excellent. Love that. Maddie?
Yeah, I looked at Algebra. Wouldn't expect it to be 16-1. That would be a big price. Again, you mentioned she is a half-sister to Autad. You've got some really nicely bred types in here. Chiara Luna is out of Princess Highway, the good horse for Dermot Weld. The one I looked at was Mary Tudor. She won the Southbill Stakes really, really easily last time. She's dropping back in trip, but she did run well in good company last year. So again, it's just more of an each-way shot.
Okay, Kill's got one for us?
Yeah, well, you'd think Magical, because her 2-year-old form is so much better than these, you'd think she might be quite short, but Aidan O'Brien tried her in Blinkers first time this season and she could finish 4th. And now he's putting cheek pieces on, so he's obviously concerned she's not putting it all in. I thought Harvest for the Well got a really nice talk up by Fozzie Stack after winning on its return, and they brought Jamie Spencer over to ride. I would take a chance on that, but I certainly wouldn't be having too much on.
Okay, and the 340 is the Derrinstown Stud Derby trial. Niall, away you go. You go first.
Again, I'm going to oppose the O'Brien horses here and put up the King, who's trained by Jessica Harrington. Again, he's only won a maiden on his second start. He absolutely hammered Imaging, who has given the form a strong look since. If he's improved since, then I think he could have a massive chance here, and he'd be the each-way bet against the market principles for me.
Just think of all those silly names racehorses get. If people knew that the King was available, you'd just call it, wouldn't you? It's a fantastic name, man. Will the King reign supreme here, Maddie, do you think?
I think so, yeah. I'm a real big fan of Imaging, and obviously he beat him pretty easily when we last saw him. I would say on the O'Brien horses, jockey bookings suggest that they think the Pentagon will reverse the Ballysax form with Nelson, but I wouldn't. I'd just stick with Nelson. He beat him and Delano Roosevelt last time. I think he can do again, but from a punting perspective, it's the King for me as well.
And who for you, Keels?
Yeah, I think I'd stick with Nelson, to be honest. I remember it's the same jockey on Nelson as before, with Shamie Heffernan now going to the Pentagon. Ryan Moore was on that when they were first, second and third last time. But I think Nelson he did everything right, and it is probably the one to beat. I wouldn't mind betting the Pentagon go off favourite, even though he's been beaten a long way. Obviously the ground is very different. He was very much talked up early on in the season. We'll have to wait and see, but it's not really a betting race for me, but I'd stick with Nelson. Niall,
what's the latest on the Derby at this stage?
Saxon Warriors are 10-11 favourite. Nelson's the second favourite at 12-1. And obviously the mover during the week was Young Rascal. He was 66-1 a couple of weeks ago. He's into 12 now.
Are you going to oppose the Fav at this stage, Niall, or do you think he's an absolute certainty?
I think he'll definitely win. If I was going to back something each way, it'd be Young Rascal. He looks certain to line up Whereas the likes of Alarcam might go to France. Young Rascal, I think he's owned by Investec, who's sponsored the Derby, or the guy who owns Investec. So if I was going to back something each way, it'd be him.
You need to get a without Saxon Warrior market up pronto. That would be a very competitive heat, wouldn't it? Maddie, how are you seeing the Derby at this stage?
Yeah, again, shame, just echo exactly what Niall said. I backed Young Rascal before he won the Vars, thanks to a good colleague,
what price?
John Cobb, 66s.
No way.
Yeah, got to thank John Cobb for that. Give him a shout out, because he put me onto the horse. I really liked him. He did loads wrong when he was winning that Vars. I think he got stopped 2 or 3 times. Still won pretty cosily in the end. I think he'll handle Epsom. Bernard Cantor owns him, as you've said, to do with Investec. So you're sure he's going to run. I think you can get about 12 to 1 about him now. Don't think it'd be 12 to 1 on the day. Obviously, Saxon Warrior is the one they've got to beat. But from a price perspective, Young Rascal, yeah, I don't think it'd be 12 to 1 on the day.
And Keels?
Yeah, Cobby told me about Young Rascal last week. Never had a bean on, though. I never had a bean on.
I'm getting slightly perturbed.
No,
we told you don't even work in the office.
Well, I went for a drink with him last week, and he said, I've just had a little few quid on this each way. You want to have a look at it? And I went, yeah, all right. And then I drank another pint and forgot all about it, as I normally do. Yeah, I think he's got a serious each way chart. I love the way he travelled, love the way he quickened. Obviously, I think Saxon Warrior win might be a bit special. On pedigree, he's got to be better at a 1.5 miles than he is at a mile, and he's already bloody good at a mile.
Okay, let's look at the French Guineas, which take place on Sunday at Longchamp after a 2-year exile at Deauville. The 235 is the Emirates Poule d'Essai des Poulains, which means colts. So that's the French 2,000 guineas. What's the latest betting, Niall?
Wouton is our 2 to 1 favourite. Almeida 5 to 2. Dice Roll 4 to 1. US Navy Flag is 10 to 1, Hageman 12 to 1 and 14 to 1 bar.
I wish I could get a little bit more excited about these races. Perhaps, Maddie, you can give me a horse that's going to get me engaged. Go on, what have we got?
A horse, a race in particular. I mean, I think this is between the 2 that ran in the Prix de Fontainebleau. Olmedo, who was just narrowly denied by Wooten. Wooten had the run of the race that day, and by all accounts, Olmedo, he's the bigger price, as Niall just said, but I think he could improve past him. They had Rostropovich in 4th that day, who's obviously gone on to win the D Stakes. As I say, I think that race is key. It'll be one of those 2 that win, in my opinion, and at the prices, it's got to be Olmedo.
Keels?
I just find it interesting that they're running US Navy Flag here. Obviously, he got beaten out of sight on heavy ground at Leopardstown last time, but you know, anyone with half a brain knew that he wouldn't like that surface. He won the Middle Park last year. He won the Dewhurst last year. He's probably got the best 2-year-old form, and with decent ground, I would give him a shot against the French. No idea how good they are, but when 2 horses finish neck and neck, you know, you think to yourself they can't be superstars.
Niall, who are you going to back?
Wooten would be sub 2 to 1, so I'd probably back that if 2 to 1 or bigger. Wouldn't have a strong opinion though.
Okay, and how are we betting on the Poule d'Essai des Pouliches, the French 1,000 guineas?
Yeah, Holly Dream is our 7 to 2 favourite. Barca is 11 to 2. Moussis Amica is 11 to 2. Coeur de Butte is 7 to 1. Could It Be Love 10 to 1 and 14 to 1 bar.
And we'll stick with you, Niall, for the selection.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in one here called T-Pal. We're 14 to 1. It's trained by David Simcock. I thought it was interesting he's bringing it over because I was half interested in him for the English 1,000 guineas. Interested in her, sorry. So she must have a decent chance here. She's hacked up in a maiden and novice race, barely coming off the bridle at Kempton last time. So she could be pretty decent. I'm willing to take a chance on her. I've seen 25 to 1 around there, so I definitely back that.
There's a couple of little nods going on there, were there? Are you in agreement there, Kills? Or
No, I was just looking up and down, really.
Nodding off.
Yeah, more like yeah, I can't say I've got a massive opinion on this. I'd like to see Althea win for Cole Burke, but only because I backed her when she won a nursery last year. Nursery form could be quite important, though, because Bilsden Brook won a nursery last year as well.
Okay, and Maddie, have you got the winner?
Exactly the same. Althea at a big price. They are due to get some rain, which will really suit her. Her best form comes on soft ground. Carl Burke does really well in France, won the Papin and the Morny last year, with unfortunately in the pre-CG with Quiet Reflection. Althea, she finished off last year 5th in the Fillies Mile. That's not bad form. So if they get the rain, she could run well at a big price.
Okay, anything else on Sunday, Maddie?
Not so much a tip, but Stormy Island runs in the 220 at Killarney. It'd be really nice to see her winning. She's had a bit of a mishap this year, not done that well. And where is my other one? And a horse that won at Cheltenham as well. Again, I'm not sure what price he'll be. The 255, To Be Lucky. He looked like he could be really smart, and he runs in the handicap herd.
Keels?
Yeah, I got a couple of Ludlow. We'll start with one of my old cliff horses, Mad Jack Mitten, who just should have won miles more races than he does. But he needs a strong pace and fast ground, and he hasn't had that for a while, and he'll get that. He'll get that now. He's dropped really down low. I think he's had a wind up. Got to have a big chance with John Joe. Bertie Mont in the 410, another horse that's dropped way down the weights with Dan Skelton. 18 of Dan Skelton's 25 runners in the new season are finishing the first 2. He was just in incredible form. So I give him a chance. He ought to be a fair price. At Plumpton, the old grey Flugzug has dropped down to a winnable mark now and ran well, went third last time. And in the 225 at Sorrel, there's a horse of Tom George's called Manila For Me, who travels like a dream and never finds anything. And if anything's been crying out for a wind operation, it's this one. It returns to the track after a wind up. And if it doesn't win the 225 at Sol tomorrow, I will give up on him.
It's on Sunday.
Sunday.
How come you had such a big Sunday study up? You don't normally.
I was working through the night last night, so I had plenty of time.
Oh, good man. Niall, have you got anything else for us on Sunday?
Yeah, just in the 205 Leopardstown, Bucky Larson, trained by Ger Lyons. He was second to Algebra on debut at Dundalk. Now, I'm not sure what happened next time because he was disappointing, but if he can get back to that first run, I think he'd have a massive chance of winning that race.
Do a bit of franking for Algebra later in the afternoon, eh? What are the weekend plans, Niall? Are you grafting or have you got a bit of leisure time?
No, I'm working all weekend. I've had a decent bet on the Eurovision, so I'm ashamed to say I'll probably... I'm on Israel at a bad price, basically, but I'm hoping they do the business still.
All right. Someone told me to back France, so I'm on France in Eurovision. Kills, you had a good study up in Eurovision?
No, mate. Long time since I paid any interest in that.
Are you hosting a Eurovision party this year?
Definitely not.
What are you going to be doing?
Saturday. I've actually got no plans the weekend. Be some punting and some drinking, I suppose.
The publicans of North Surrey will be pleased to hear that, no doubt. And Maddie, what have you got on?
First and foremost, I've never got Eurovision, never even watched it once.
I don't blame you.
Don't get it.
No,
I just, what is it? Yeah. I don't get it. Weekend plans, working in the office on Saturday, and then Sunday I'm off, so we'll just see where life takes me.
Good. Okay. Well done, folks. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much for watching or listening. Don't forget, if you enjoy the podcast, do please rate, review and subscribe on iTunes. We're back on Monday. Is that you in the chair Monday, Mads?
Should be, yeah.
Okay, looking back at the weekend and obviously looking ahead to York as well. So join Maddie and the gang for that. Don't forget, we'll be back next Friday for more weekend tipping.
Follow Paddy Power on Snapchat. The username is ThePaddyPower, and we promise there won't be any boring snaps about gigs, the weather or the gym.